Hey guys, I said I would make a video after I did some meditating. So what I did is I went out and I blew off the sidewalk and around the door area behind some of my potted plants that do not look very good right now. But I have faith that they're going to come back, so I'm just going to leave them looking like death out there right now. Planted some wild flowers in some pots. I did have some seeds. I found, I don't know, I think they're about a year old, so they may not take, but I put a whole bunch in there hoping that the best will come. If not, then I'll just have to get some later on. But I am going to continue with the wildflowers, the milk stuff that attracts the butterflies, and if a friend of mine will give me some elderberry, I will figure out where to put them at. I'm going to attract as many butterflies and birds as possible. I am going to find some small bird feeders and start trying to get some bird seed up and start putting that stuff out to attract the wild birds, which will attract other animals as well. I've always had turtles in the yard. I've always had frogs and lizards, so a lot of them should come back. I'm hoping here, gonna cross our fingers, that with this stimulus, like I said, I understand there's a whole lot of pork with it, and I can go through and explain pork if you would like to. You just have to let me know. I know there's a lot of pork, but I really need to get the fence fixed in the backyard so I can put the dog out of the house, back in the backyard, and not have to worry about her climbing out. I do have a couple of things I do need to pay. I know I'm behind on a couple of things. It's not that much, so I should be able to get the fence fixed and this particular problem taken care of. I'm hoping to do that all by the end of the month. Now, with that being said, do understand, I'm like everyone else here. I am struggling. And when I say struggling, I mean struggling just like everyone else, trying to figure out how to pay my electric bill, what to do to keep it down, different things like that. So I'm in the same boat with everyone. Don't think that just because I work that I am just well off, well-to-do. I don't go anywhere because I know I don't have the extra money to put gas in the car to go somewhere, so I pretty much stay home. So I try to find cheap projects to do here that doesn't cost very much, because I do need new furniture, probably like a lot of you. I can't afford it. I don't have $1,000 to go buy a whole new couch, love seat, chair, and tables and stuff like that. So I have to make do with what I have. I've never, ever said anything different. I've always shown you what I'm doing. Everything that I buy is extremely cheap, and I do the best I can with what I have. Later on in life, hopefully, we'll see what happens. Now, for those of you who understand what NESARA GESARA is, it's a restart. It started with the farmers when the government went in and took their land away from them. It was non-constitutional. It was against the law. It took them to go all the way to the Supreme Court. That's where an attorney found it in the Constitution. This is how NESARA got started. So please look it up. Google search it. If you can't find it on Google, go to DuckDuckGo, go to Yandex search engine, find another search engine. Look it up, NESARA GESARA, and you will see that it actually happened. They were sworn to secrecy. A lot of people in Congress and your senators, all of them were sworn to secrecy. They didn't roll it out when they were supposed to. But this is because of the farmers. Now, if you remember when Trump would talk about the farmers a lot, that's because the farmers are the one that fought. The government went in, took their land, their home, their livestock, their equipment, everything, because that's what they do. We have given this government too much power, and we have stood back and let them do it. Now, some of you may not remember that. I vaguely remember it happening. I vaguely remember a lot of people that the government would come in and tell them what they can and can't do and take things away from them. This goes on all the time. There's a case right now in California, I don't know if y'all have heard about it, where a colored family owned land on a beach. They bought it, they paid very cheap for it, they built it up, made it a vacation spot, and the state or the city or the county or whatever it was decided they wanted it. So they took it, eminent domain, took it away from these people, all right? And now it's built up and it is like quadruple what it was worth back when these people bought it. These people, if they still had it, would be millionaires right now. Would be millionaires. And the state did this. This is because when they want something and you won't give it to them, they come up with some kind of law or they find a loophole and they take it from you. All right? That is what we mean when we say the government has too much power. All right? Everybody knows that when this country started, people were going everywhere trying to find land. They would put their claim. They would just walk up to it and say, I claim this. This is my land. And they would build fences and put their cattle and stuff. And nobody friggin' bothered them. Oh, you can't do that today because now the government is control of everything. You don't understand. You really don't understand how much power they have. They control every aspect of our life, and we stand by and we let them do it to us continuously. When these people vote these new laws in or make these executive orders that they do, they are constantly taking things away from us because they don't want us to be happy. They don't want us to have any money. They don't want us to enjoy anything. They're taking away God from us. They've been doing that. Remember when they took it out of the schools prayer? They took the Pledge of Allegiance out of schools. I remember doing the Pledge of Allegiance every morning, and then in the afternoon, the 6th grade class folded the flag. That's how I learned how to fold the flag. I'm not very good at folding the flag because I don't do it very much anymore, and I really try at my job when I see it all wadded up in a ball laying in a box. I try to fold it and do the best I can. I'm not very good at it. I probably need to just buy one and practice since there's nothing else to do here. I'm almost running out of projects that I can do. There's lots of projects that need to be done, but like I said, you have to have some funds, and I am not very good on funds right now, so I have to cut down on projects. So I'm getting really bored. But what I'm getting at is understand what NESARA GESARA is. NESARA is us, is the United States. GESARA is worldwide. So what this law happened is it's going to save the whole world. All right? Everything that has been stolen from us, all the technology, all of it is going to come forward. This is all the stuff that I'm saying, information that's going to shock people. All of that is going to come out. It's not just going to, one day you're going to wake up and everything's going to be out there. That's not how it's going to work. It's going to come in phases and steps, and it's going to be slowly. All right? So, when I say some people are not going to make it, I am serious. You don't know how many people out there have no idea about anything. It is actually scary that they don't even know. They don't even take the time to read the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, reading what the Federalist Papers are. Nothing. They don't do anything. They have no idea. It's scary. People, do it. You need to know this stuff. Your rights are very important. People can come over and tell you anything they want and say, oh, it's the law. Well, yeah, it may be the law, but there's ways to protect your rights in that. Okay? Let me give you an example. Like with them fussing at me about these wild ducks, saying, I can't have wild ducks. I don't have wild ducks. The wild ducks find me. My whole life, animals find me. Wild animals have found me. No matter where I've gone, wild animals find me. Those ducks found me. If those ducks want to be in my yard and walk up to me when I get out of my car and I talk to them, that's fine. I don't care. You cannot put me in jail because I'm talking to a wild duck. All right? I don't care how many times they bring the law out here and threaten me. I know my rights. You can't do it. They're not my ducks. They're God's ducks. All right? So, I do know that I'm able to plant anything I want to in my yard. That was told to me when I signed for my house. They told me anything. I can plant as many trees, as many bushes, as many flowers, anything I want to. So that's why I'm going to plant things that attract butterflies and bees. Because all of that is going to attract the ducks. So now I don't have to put kibble out there. They're going to be able to eat the bugs. Get what I'm doing here? Okay? This is going to bring birds in. Lots and lots of birds. So people don't like the ducks flying around. Wait till I get mockingbirds. Wait till I have cardinals. Wait till I have some more black-winged birds. Wait till I get the brown thurston. All these other birds that I'm going to attract. When I first started putting bird feeders up, you should have seen the birds that came in my yard. And I stopped buying the bird feed after a while because the ducks were in the yard. And I just started more or less messing with them. So they haven't, I mean, I see them every now and then, but I'm going to go back to doing what I was doing. You should have seen the butterflies I had. I had hummingbirds. I'm bringing all that back. I'm bringing all that back. I had turtles. Just see the turtles I had. Frogs. I still have frogs all in my yard. All right. I have everything. And there's nothing you can do about it because they're all wild. And if they come in your yard, that's you can't do anything about it. You can't arrest me because there's wild birds in my yard. You can't arrest me because there's turtles in my yard. And some of those turtles, they're endangered. So if they're in my yard, you definitely don't want to have me out there trying to kill them or move them somewhere because you can't do it. It's against the law. So there's just a lot. You have to know your rights, people. Know your rights. If they tell you something, there's usually a way to get around it. There's usually another way. And like I said, I may not be an attorney. I'm not claiming to be one, but I know my rights and I know how to do my research because I did study law and I did get through the class that tells you how to research and find things. So I do digging, all right? And I know, okay? I can't put kitty kibble out there for the ducks. Fine, I'll make sure there's enough bugs out there for them. That's what I'll do. And as far as the birds, all these wild birds, they come and they start pooping on these people's cars. They'll be wishing the ducks were the only problem they had. Don't mess with me, people. Don't mess with me. All right? I always come out smelling like a rose. Always did, always will. Because I use this. All right? So, understand that. And like I said, yes, when I get my stimulus check, there are some things I need to pay. And I will. I'm going to get my fence fixed first because it is down. If you would like me to move the camera over there, I will be glad to show you what my fence looks like. Let's see how we would do this. Let's touch that. Oh, I'm not even going to do all that because I'll accidentally hit the wrong thing. Hold on a second. Let me show you my fence. You're going to love this one. Show you my fence because maybe someone doesn't believe me when I say that my fence is tore down. Turn it around. See? Tore down. Look. Wild ducks not bothering anybody. See? That's got to be fixed. I can't even put my dog out here. This over here is falling down. All of this has to be rebuilt. All of it. So I'm not lying when I say I need. And over here, my gate. My gate's not even over there anymore. See? It's not there. So I'm not lying. I'm not lying, people. I don't have the money to fix that. I have got to fix that. So I definitely need this 14. Get your butt back in here, dog. Thank you. So I'm not lying, people. I'm not. People may think I'm lying. Maybe this one particular person thinks I'm lying. I'm not lying. I don't even know how much that's going to cost me. It's probably going to cost me $800-900. Now, I do know because I did my research that the two neighbors on the side of me, by law, have to pay half. Because I did the research. If you have a fence, and I'm going to share this with you in case you have the same problem. If you have a fence and the neighbor behind you says, that's your fence, you put that up. Or when you bought that subdivision, they put that fence up. That's your fence. I'm not paying for it. By law, if the fence is on a property line and both properties benefit from that fence, if that means that keeps it to where your stuff's on your side, their stuff's on their side. It keeps it blocked, keeps noise out, keeps animals. If both property owners benefit from that fence, then both property owners are responsible for the fence. Therefore, when it needs to be fixed, both parties have to pay for it. I looked it up. I looked it up. All right? So I know by law, these people can tell me all the time, no, I'm not paying for that fence. That's your fence. I already looked it up. So I have a friend that is going to type that up. I had to have the paperwork redone if he's looking at this, because my neighbor that lives on this side of me had to move out. So it's going to be just a combination of what it's going to cost for my yard, not including her yard. So the paperwork has to be redone. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him type that law up, and I'm going to nicely go put the paperwork both in their mailboxes and let them know that this is how much it's going to cost to fix the fence. I am planning on having it done by April. That gives them enough time to come up with the money. I'm going to split it 3 ways, and we're going to divide it evenly, and then they're going to pay me, but I'm going to break it down for how much. The guy that's doing my fence is going to break it down how much all the material is going to cost. He's going to find the most inexpensive stuff, but he's going to do a really good job because he's one of those types of people. He has to do everything just perfect. And for his labor, we're going to divide that 3 ways. And I'm going to give them the option to 1, give me the money, 2, give him the money, or 3, give my friend who's going to write this up the money so he can pay him. Doesn't matter how they want to do it, but it's going to get paid. And if they don't pay me, I will go to court and have the judge tell them that yes, she is correct, that is the law, and they have to pay for it. And that's just how I'm going to do it. So I won't have to spend the whole $1,400 on the fence, because if I have to do it by myself, I probably will, and that's not what I want to do. I've got a couple other things I need to take care of, and one person in particular, and I need to take care of that. And I'm trying very hard, but this person is very impatient. So that is my goal. So I wanted to show you my fence. So when I say my fence needs fixing, you understand my fence needs fixing bad. I think what happened was that fence was already up there before the subdivision was built, and then they added the side fences to the properties. And this is where this people on this subdivision, that's an older subdivision, is saying it's our fence. But anyways, it doesn't matter because I know the law. So they will have to pay for it. And hopefully I can get this done by April, know exactly how much my share is going to be, and then take care of this other little problem I got and have that off my back. Hopefully, I'm hoping by July we are seeing more benefits of NESARA GESARA. I don't know what's going to happen. I do feel like that, like I said, this month was going to be people being arrested, the crimes being exposed, not just here in the United States, but all over the world. So pay attention. I'm posting these arrests because I need you to see this, because I'm trying to show you that there is hope. This is happening. Do you know that this is not Biden doing this? This is not Biden's administration. These people don't even care about the illegals crossing the border. And I'll get into that in just a second. So why would they want all these people arrested? They don't. These are their friends, okay? They're panicking, all right? Look at the pictures of the White House. When they show you the White House in Washington, D.C., and then they scroll Google Earth over and show you another White House, don't argue with me and tell me I'm making up stuff, that there's no way. Do you know he could not get in the White House? Does anybody remember that when he tried to get in the White House and the door was locked? He's locked out of the real White House, people. He's not there. He's not there. He's not in Air Force One. That Air Force One he flies around in, have you looked at the original Air Force One? And that one, it's smaller. It's not Air Force One. Okay? It's not. So stop thinking it. Pay attention. You got to pay attention, people. You're just not doing it. All of us are trying the best we can. I mean, my friend of mine had put up a video showing you how they green screen and put 2 people in there, look like they're talking to one another, but they're not. I don't know if you looked at that video. Cut it out. Have you looked at the Avenger movies? Do you realize that's green screen? Do you realize that? If you didn't, I hope you don't pass out. Yes, that's all green screen. All right, so if you can do that type of stuff in a movie at that magnitude, why can't you do smaller things? It's not hard. Hollywood has worked with the government many, many times. Did any of y'all see that movie that Ben Affleck was in about the people that were in Iran? And they went in and got them out. Did you see that movie? Look at it. They worked with Hollywood. So we have a history of our government working with Hollywood to do things. It's not a lie. It's not a conspiracy theory. Get that out of your head. It's actual truth. We're not showing you make-believe stuff. I'm not showing you goofy stuff. I am showing you actual things that you could go look at, that you could physically go look at, okay? If Joe Biden lands somewhere at an airfield and he's got a rally of people, probably 5 people there, you could show up and you could get your binoculars and you can look at Air Force One. You could actually look at it. So I'm not lying to you. I'm not making anything up. Okay? You can actually look at that plane if you can get close enough where you can get some binoculars and you can see for yourself what he got out of. All right? So stop saying it's conspiracy theory. Stop saying I'm making up stuff. I'm not. I'm not. There are people who make a living doing graphic stuff on computers called green screens. These actors wear these little dot things all over their heads, so when they put the mask on them in this computerized thing, it fits just perfectly, and they're able to fly and jump and twirl and shoot fire out their mouth or whatever the hell they do. It's all computer generated on a green screen. Okay? Your news media. Okay? You know how you see someone just standing there and the wind's blowing in the background and you see leaves doing this, but the woman's hair's not moving? Do you think that's hairspray? Do you think her hair is stiff as a board? Or maybe she's in a green screen sitting in the office, in the room next to the other guy she's supposedly talking to in a distance. Happens all the time. Remember, they caught several of CNN people. Nancy was standing talking and you saw a truck pass her. Then she was supposedly talking to someone else that was somewhere else, and the same truck passed her. And then the third person that they were talking to was supposed to be in a totally different area. The truck passed her. This means the 3 of them were standing like this. Okay? They're playing with you. It's all smoke and mirrors. Okay? All smoke and mirrors. Do you remember the Weather Channel? The guy was like doing this. The wind is so strong. And the people were walking behind him and they were like looking at this guy because he had this big gigantic fan blowing on him, making it look like hurricane strength winds. And the guy was overreacting to it, trying to make it look like he was standing in like 200-mile-an-hour winds. And people were just walking past him like, what the shit's going on? How about CNN when they had Anderson Cooper in that hole in the ground, saying that the flood. And then when you blow it back up and you look at the cameraman around, there's people walking around looking at him like, what's he doing in that freaking hole? Okay? This is how they manipulate you to think things. I'm not lying, people. I'm not making it up. It's real. So get that through your head. You've got to understand that. You've got to understand it, okay? It's not fake. It's real. Well, what they're doing is fake, but what I'm telling you is not fake. It's real stuff. So, this is what I'm saying. The government has worked with Hollywood. Now you've got the news media. They're in on this as well. So now you've got the government, you've got Hollywood actors, producers, directors, whole production companies that are doing things for the government. You've got the news media, who they're not even journalists, okay? They probably didn't even go to college to be journalists. Some of them actually work for the government. They probably get a check from the CIA, okay? They say what they're supposed to say. They're not telling you the news. They're only telling you what they want you to know, what they want you to think. And you sit there and you let them program your brain into believing it. Now you're thinking that, oh my gosh, this is going on, we're all going to die. So what does that do when you do that? Well, when your politician gets on there and says that, we've got to raise taxes because we got to do this. Well, you're thinking, oh my God, I just saw that on the news and we're all going to die and we need to pay more money, so you vote for this shit. Do you not think that they're in cahoots working together? The media puts the fear in you by showing you what the government wants you to see. Then the government tells you that they're going to fix it, but they need more money. They need more money. That's the only way we can fix this. We just don't have enough money. And you're like thinking, okay, so you deal with it, right? But then you see all these damn people coming from other countries, coming over here in the buttloads, and they're giving them money. Why don't you think, hold your horses. You just told me that there's not enough money to do this, but how come you can give $5 billion to another country so their army can pay for the sex changes of the people that's serving them. Why am I paying for sex changes in Jordan? Why? Why do I have to pay for that? Why can't their own country pay for that? Why can't the people that want the sex change in that country pay for it? Why does the American people have to pay for it? That's what we call pork. That's what they pass in these bills. Because you're so, I just need. So you vote these people in because they're telling you, I'm going to make sure you're going to get a $2,000 stimulus. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to raise the unemployment. So you vote these people in, and then this is what they do. They tell you there's no money, but they magically come up with money to give to other countries. So look at what they passed in that stimulus. Read it for yourself. Go through it page by page by page. Read it. You will be horrified to see what they continuously pass through these things, calling it an American stimulus to save the country, but there's not much in there that saves our country. It's saving other countries. It's giving money to other countries. Now, with that being said, do you know what these politicians do? They funnel the money to that country. With an agreement, they keep so much of it, put it in another bank that funnels back to our politicians. This is why Nancy Pelosi lives the lifestyle that she does. This is why Chuck Schumacher lives the lifestyle that he lives. If you tell me that these people are not getting cutbacks from all these bills that they pass, giving money to foreign countries, you are a sucker. A sucker. Because if they weren't getting cutbacks and millions of dollars of our tax dollars through the back door, they would not stay in office for 30, 40 years. They're not doing it because they really believe in the job that they're doing, that they're saving America. They're doing it for the money. Do you get it? Do you understand it? All right. Now, let me explain why they're not doing anything with these immigrants coming across the border in the southern. It has nothing to do with these people needing a better life because it's mainly children. Now, what have we been talking about with children? One, it's a cash crop. You make millions of dollars off of a child. Do you know you can take one child and sell it to probably 50 people in one day? Think of the money you can make. And if you don't think that happens, do your research. Go down that hole. You will cry. Get yourself some Kleenexes, okay? You will cry. These kids are salmonized. That's what the panda eyes is, okay? When you see a child that has solid black eyes all around, looks like they've been punched in the face, that is because when they salmonize these kids, they're pushing so hard that everything is coming out. Their eyes are actually about to come out of their head, which bruises them. And these people get off on it. This is why you'll see pictures of little girls with black eyes and they pass it around Facebook and it says, she's blind. Can you pray for her? Share. You know why? Because it's going to finally get to somebody who knows exactly what that little girl was. She was salmonized. She was raped brutally. And you just sit that picture around. This is why I called someone out when they sent it to me. I said, stop this bullshit. You need to pray for her. Yeah, pray that she gets out of that situation. I'm not sharing it. Stop it. And it stopped. Well, it's probably still going around, but it's not coming to me anymore. So don't share that crap. This little boy, he's blind. He needs your prayers. Don't share it. Okay? That is a little boy that's being tortured by some sick individual who gets the rocks off, sending that picture through Facebook, Twitter, where else? Okay? If you didn't realize it, then you need to look up panda eyes. All right? Go through the FBI website, look for panda eyes. You will be horrified. And I just told you how these kids get panda eyes, all right? You think these people do it because they love these kids? Because they want to marry them, spend the rest of their life? They're sick, evil individuals, all right? It has nothing to do with love. It has to do with torture and pain, just like rape, okay? When a woman is raped, it's not because the man is in love with her and wants to give her love. It's because he wants to control her through fear and pain, all right? They do this to these children because they're chickens. All right? They can control these children because they can't fight back. They're not strong enough. They don't have enough of strength. They have no idea how to do it yet. So they rape these children. They hurt these children because it's control and it's power. And they think they're better than all of us. All right? So get that through your head. So all these illegal children crossing the border that are in cages that probably all you Democrats looking at this were horrified about, when it wasn't even Donald Trump that was putting them in cages. It was Barack Obama. All right? It was him. You're not complaining about the cages now, are you? I'm hearing crickets. I don't hear you. All right? They're back in cages. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to get sent back out, and they're going to be forgotten. They're going to disappear. They're going to end up back in these tunnels under the ground. They're going to end up in someone's home. They're going to end up in some kind of sick porn thing that's on the internet somewhere. Someone's probably going to sacrifice some of them. Someone's probably going to eat some of them. Okay, that's what's going to happen to all these children. That's why Trump tried to close the border, to stop this crap. Why would you, as a parent, send your 5-year-old by themselves thousands of miles to cross to a country by themselves? Why would you do it? Why? Because someone either kidnapped these children from their parents or their parents sold them. And it's most probably the parents sold them for money. All right? They have children, they give birth to them, and then they sell them. That should horrify you. This is why the border was needing to be completely closed. So this type of shit would stop. But you're so convinced because the media tells you that it's because these people want a better life. And they can only have one here. When you don't even understand. You have no idea. Because you don't want to listen. You don't want to open up your mind to the possibilities that you've been lied to. Okay? That's why all these border crossings are going on right now. Some of these people are going to cross, drop these children off, do whatever, and then go back and then come again with some more children. Donald Trump tried to prove that to you. He tried to tell you that's why they wanted to do DNA. No, you had a fit. Your congressmen, your senators, no, we can't do that. Why? Why can't we make sure that this person that claims to be the mother of this child, why can't we make sure she's the biological mother? Why can't we question her? Why can't we take that child, put it aside in a safe spot, have it checked out, make sure it's getting all of their medical needs, food, water, and question this person? Why? Why was that wrong? Why can't they come into someone else's home, like an American citizen's home, and question you? Are you feeding your child? Then take your child out of your home. But somebody from a different country can more or less bring their child thousands of miles with no shelter, no food, no water, cross to a country illegally, and they should keep their child. But people in America every day are having their children ripped out of their homes. Because one, either they couldn't afford a babysitter. Two, they brought their children to work and had them in a car, and they kept going out there checking on them. Three, maybe they didn't have enough food. The children looked hungry, and the teacher complained and sent social services out, and maybe they went through the house and found no food and thought this person was incapable of keeping a child, so they took the child out. But yet it's okay for somebody from El Salvador who has no food, no clothes for their child, no roof over their head, to take them through dangerous situations where they could be murdered, and yet they get to keep their children because they're great parents. They're great parents, but you're not. You're a bad parent, and we're going to take your child away from you. But these people are great parents. So what does that tell you? Maybe you need to take your child, go to El Salvador, walk thousands of miles across the border to prove you're a good parent too. Huh. There you go. Solves the whole problem. That is how you prove to the government in your state, in this country, and to all Democrats that you're a great parent. I think we all need to flock. I think we all just need to grab our kids, go right now, and show them that we are great parents because we love our kids. We're going to walk from El Salvador all the way to Texas. No clothes, no food, just the clothes on our back, and our child in slippers and flip-flops and Crocs or whatever, barefoot. We're going to walk it. We're going to cross the border to prove that we're great parents. We get to keep our kids, because that's what parents do. That's what great parents do, don't you think? Jesus Christ, do you actually believe that shit? Really? Do you believe that? You're sick if you do. You are really sick in the head if you do. I'm going to tell you right now, you're sick. Okay? So, do you understand it now? Do you get it? You need to watch the, there's a lot of bonds that are due to be cashed in. I believe it was the 29th through the 31st of this month. There's a bunch that are supposed to cash through. And then in April. If the banks do not have the gold and silver and the cash in their bank, if you go to cash it out, they have to come up with it. And this is what is supposed to make those banks crash. We need the central banks to crash, people, because when they crash and burn, this is when our gold and silver is going to roll out. This is a part of NESARA GESARA, all right? This is how it's going to happen. With the voting system, we're going to go under the quantum. There will be no cheating. There will be no way to cheat. There'll be no hacking, all right? Whoever you vote for, you're going to know who you're going to vote for, because the actual votes are going to count. Now, you're going to hear people say, well, we need to make it easier for people to vote. For 100 years, whenever we became a country, when we voted, people went to the voting polls. There was no, well, I can't leave the house. All right? There was none of that. These people got out and voted. Do you remember when, after the Civil War, when the black man was able to vote? I don't know if you remember this. Studying it, maybe they didn't tell you about it. They stood in a long line to vote. They didn't complain that someone didn't come to their house and bring the ballot to them. All right? They got in there to vote, and they were turned away by the Democrats. Yes, the Democrats turned them away and said, oh, there's no more voting ballots. You can't vote. All right? Do you not think that these people were denied their voting rights? Okay? But yet you keep voting for them. You keep voting Democrat. Because you know why? You don't want to pay attention. Watch the movie, The Nation, Independent Nation of Jones, or anything with not Matthew McConaughey, but you know what I'm talking about. With him. Watch that movie. Okay? It may not be 100% true, but I'm telling you, a lot of that stuff in that movie actually happened. And those people, that family, at the end of the movie, it shows you the actual descendants of that family. Okay? And it shows you how the Republicans said, these men get to vote. And what the Democrats did. Okay? This is where you got the lynching, the Democrats, because they did not want them to vote. This is where you got the people wearing the white things over and riding around and burning crosses and being a bunch of idiots. It became they did not want them to vote. Period. But these people got out and stood in those lines regardless to vote, to make their word, their self counted, their opinion. It mattered, and they stood there and they voted. So for you to sit in your house and say, well, I can't get to the voting booth, it needs to be mailed to me. You have no idea. You have no idea. And that crap needs to stop. Okay? It needs to stop. We don't need someone coming around knocking on your door saying, hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm doing the harvesting voting. Who would you like to vote for? Because there's no way you can trust that person. You cannot trust that person. You know why? Because they're paid by the Democrats. If it was a Republican coming, would you do it? No. Because Republicans know you need to go to the voting poll. All right? Now you're saying, well, it's racist to have a driver's license to vote. All right? Did you complain when you went to open your banking account and they said, I need to see your driver's license? Do you complain when they check your ID to buy beer, your cigarettes, your stinky ass cigars? All right? Do you complain when they want to check your ID? You don't, do you? You hand it over quickly. Why do you complain when they say, I need to see your ID to vote? Why? Do you complain when you get pulled over and the officer says, I need to see your driver's license? Do you get all mad? Tell them, well, that's racist because I can't get to the DMV? No, you cough over a driver's license. Or you go to jail, don't you? Okay. All right. How about a library card? How many of you go to the library? Probably not many of you, but I'm sure some of you have children that need to go to the library now and then. You got to have a driver's license, an ID to get a library card, don't you? Okay. Are you mad about that? Do you think that's racist? Should I continue on how many things that you need an ID for? How about when you get an apartment or you rent a house? They need a form of ID to know who you are, and you cough it over. Did you? Did you get mad? Did you call them racist? What about that house that you bought? Did you realize you handed over your ID? Did you? Okay. Do you get what I'm saying? You have to have an ID to do anything in this country anymore. Your word doesn't count. Your handshake doesn't count. Your thumbprint doesn't count. Spitting and shaking hands, it doesn't count anymore. You have to have an ID. With everything that you do, you have to have an ID. And not one time has one person said that's racist. But yet, when states pass laws that you have to show an ID to vote, you jump up and say, you can't do that. That's racist. Why? Because the TV told you that. The news told you that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have thought shit of it, would you? You would have never thought anything about that. Because they told you and you believed it. Do you understand it now? Are you getting this? Are you waking up? I hope so. So stop it. Stop it. You are not better than anyone else. You are not more privileged than anyone else. I can go through history. History. All the way back to the Egyptians on slavery. All right? I am not saying slavery is good. I'm not saying it should have ever happened. I'm just telling you, there is not one group of people whose people have not been enslaved. All right? So one group is not better than the other group. So stop it. Stop it. Stop it. When you start complaining about slavery, then you need to start thinking about the kids that are in slavery now. Quit thinking about your great-great-great-great-great aunt. Quit thinking about all that. Why don't you think about the little kid, Jimmy, that just got kidnapped and he's being passed around to 50 men so far. Think about Jimmy. Think about, he's only 5 years old. Think about him. He's enslaved. Why aren't you mad about that? Why are you mad about something that happened over 100 years ago that didn't happen to you? Yes, it was terrible. But what about Jimmy? What about him? What about his life? Why don't you get off your ass and start doing something about this? What about if it was your child that was kidnapped and is raped over and over and over, enslaved? And you're going to tell me what happened 100 years ago is more important than your child? You're a liar. You are a liar. And if you don't believe this crap is happening, look it up. There are people that have survived and are telling you stories. Listen to what they say. And then tell me that your great-great-great-grandfather's life of a slave is more important than this poor person. All right? It happens every day. Every day a child is kidnapped. All right? Not just by a parent. I'm talking about by some sick individuals. And is put into slavery as a sex slave. And then their rape is videotaped and plastered on the dark web for sick individuals to watch. And you're not complaining about that. But yet you're complaining about somebody who picked cotton over 100 years ago. And you feel like you need money because of that. But what about that poor child? What about that poor child? His life is ruined. Ruined. He is mentally ruined. He is physically ruined. And you're not complaining about it. And I'm so tired of hearing these people, you need to pay me now because my great-grandfather was a slave. What about the slaves today? What about them? Stop it. People make me sick. Sick. Go down the rabbit hole. Look this crap up. It's happening. And you don't want to see it. But I'm telling you, when all this crap comes out, more of it will come out. And when you find out who is actually making money off of this, when you find out which politicians make money off of this, they may not be the ones raping the child, but trust me, they're making money off of it. Okay? when you find out which Hollywood actors are in on this, which sports figures, singers, so on and so forth are involved in this stuff, you are going to freaking throw up. Throw up. You idolize these people. You think they're great. You buy their magazines, their books. You watch all their movies. You follow them. You think, God, I want to be like him. And when you find out what he does to little children, are you still going to want to be like him? God says, do not worship any idols. You're not supposed to worship these people. You're not supposed to bow down to them. All right? They're no better than you. They're no better than you. You're better than them. You're better than them. You're more beautiful than them. You're more handsome than them. You have a better life. You have better everything. Those people are fake and they're sick. And stop worshiping them because they're completely and utterly evil. Now, I'm not saying every actor in Hollywood is, but I'm saying a majority of them are. Because they sold their soul to get where they are because the devil offers you money, riches, fame, fortune, gold, jewelry, houses, everything that you think you want, but he doesn't offer you salvation. Only Jesus Christ offers you salvation. Do you get it now? Has anybody talked to the devil and he said, okay, well, I'm going to give you salvation to make sure you get to heaven so you can sit with God? He does not offer you that. He offers you all the worldly things you can have. All of it. Which means nothing because these people are still not happy. They're never happy. They never have enough because there's nothing there. They're empty. They're black inside. So there's nothing there. That's why they need more and more and more because there's nothing in there. When you have nothing and you give the shirt off your back to someone and you feel so warm, it's because you are full of God. You are full of the light. And this is why simple things fulfill your life. This is why someone just shaking your hand or patting you on the back and you're like, wow, I feel great. Thank you so much. I needed that. But yet, people in Hollywood, people that are politicians, actors, sports figures, they have to have more money. They have to have bigger houses. They need that bigger trophy. They need that ring on their finger because nothing else matters to them because they sold their soul. Wake up. Understand it. I'm telling you the truth. I'm being brutal because I'm aggravated. I am tired of seeing people calling me a conspiracy theorist. I am tired of people saying you're making this crap up, Jackie. That's not what's going on. But I see it. I have seen shit my whole life. I see things differently than everybody. And everybody has always told me, Jackie, how do you see things that nobody else sees? You don't think the way everybody else thinks. You're somewhere else. Yes, that's because of my gifts. And it makes me angry that you can't see it too. And I'm trying to tell you how to see it. I'm not saying you're going to see visions and you're going to see past lives or you're going to know what numbers to vote in the lottery and to win and become a millionaire. You don't want that anyway. But what I'm trying to tell you is how to spot this stuff and to understand you're being lied to. And you need to wake up and understand everything that you think is important right now is not. God will give you everything you need. You don't need riches. You don't need fortunes, okay? You just need to survive. And everything on this planet that you need is here, all right? We just got to get through this. Just like I said, with my fence, I just need to get my dog to be able to roam around in the backyard. Unfortunately, I need money to do it because I don't have the resources to go chop down a tree myself, cut the wood to make it a fence thing, and then hang it up myself. So, unfortunately, I'm stuck, all right? Stuck. I'm like the rest of you. I'm stuck, and I cannot wait to not be stuck anymore. I can't wait. And you should be happy that it's happening. You should be thanking Jesus. Thank you for saving us, getting us out of this hot mess. I don't know how we got here. I guess it got out of control and it just spiraled, and we've got more and more brainwashed, and we forgot because they quit telling us. They only told us what they wanted us to know. That's why they took civics out of schools, so you wouldn't know your rights as a as a human being, okay? This is why they're taking God out of your life, so you won't know your rights of human nature, what God gave you. They don't want you to believe that. This is why they shove science down your throat. Oh, it's scientifical. Okay, there's a lot of things you can prove with science, but what are the odds of this thing and this thing and this thing meeting together to form this thing? All right? Okay, you just proved how it happened, but what are the chances? Is that not a miracle? All right? Miracles happen every day. They tell you they don't because we can prove it through science. But what they're not telling you is the odds of it happening. And when it's like 1 to 5 billion chances that happens, is that not a miracle? Is that not God's will that these three things came together and formed this thing? What? Explain it to me how that's not a miracle. Okay? Explain it to me. I'll be here all day. Unfortunately, I couldn't go to work today because I had no gas money. But I'm here all day. I'll be here tomorrow when I get off work. And then hopefully Saturday and Sunday, I'll be doing something totally different. But I'm here. Explain it to me. Explain it to me. You can't. And you won't. That's what's funny. You won't. You'll argue with me. You'll post things on my Facebook page. You'll post something here. You'll call me a name or whatever, but you can't explain something to me. Like you can't explain the wonderful things that Joe Biden's doing for this country. You can't. You know why? Because they can't tell you anything wonderful. The news hasn't told you anything wonderful. All they keep telling you is all the terrible things that Trump did to keep that in your head. Why does that matter to you now? Shouldn't you be focused on this administration? Or maybe this is a fake administration and they have to keep reminding you about the real administration that's doing shit. Think about it, people. Every answer you need is there. All you have to do is just close your eyes and ask God, say, God, please, show me what I need to know today. And just turn on Facebook, and you'd be surprised what video might pop up. Or maybe you'll turn on the radio and a song will pop on your head. Or maybe somebody will pop over. You ask God, and He will answer you. And that's what you need to start doing. You need to wake up, because things will continuously go downhill until enough people have said they've had enough. And I am here to tell you, I've had enough. I'm ready. Please, in this nightmare that we're in, I cannot stand it any longer. I don't want to pay $4 a gallon for gas. I can't afford it. I don't want my electricity to go up to $200 a month. I can't afford it. I've had enough. Are you with me? Because if you're not with me, this is what's going to happen, people, until we completely crash. And then they'll come in and they'll say, oh, we'll take care of you. We're the government. We're here to take care of you. The government's, their job is not to take care of you. Have you not realized that? Who takes care of you? You do. All right? You do, not the government. You've given the government too much power, and they think because you keep giving them the power that eventually they're going to come in and be your savior, and they're not. They're not your savior. They're not your best friend. You need to start realizing it. Your government is the one who put you in this predicament. Your government sets you up to fail. Central banks, the federal bank, IRS, all of them, they set you up to fail. They're counting on it. They wait every day for someone else to completely collapse and fall. So they're 100% dependent on the government. So the government gives them all the food they need, everything. Because they know when they do that, they've got a voter for life. And you're going to do everything they need them to do. And then you're going to go out and protest because you're not working. We're going to pay you to protest. Okay. $100 to go out and protest? Sure, that's easy. That's easy, $100. Let me go wear a sign and start yelling at people. What do you think? Where do you think these protesters come from? Do you think they volunteer their time? 99% of them are paid. They put ads in the paper. They put ads everywhere to find these people. And they pay them to protest. They put them in nice charter buses and they drive them through the country to go protest. Why do you think Black Lives Matter? Some of these people are like, hey, where's my money? Because the money didn't go to Black Lives Matter. It went to the Democrat convention. It went to that party to spread out amongst their constituents, okay? It does not go back to Black Lives Matter. So now they're having to go out and try to raise more money, which they're not going to get. Wake up. If you're part of Black Lives Matter, when has Black Lives Matter come and did something for you? Were you able to call them up on the telephone? Hey, Black Lives Matter, my electricity bill is about to be cut off. Is there any way you can come over here and help? Have they come help you? Did they come? Hey, Black Lives Matter, there's somebody out here yelling at me. Can you come help me? Do they come? No. What do? They just protest, stir up crap, ask for money, and then they don't get anything back. Is that a scam? That sounds like a scam to me. You're being scammed. You're out there doing all the work, and you're not getting any benefits. That's a scam. Okay? Antifa, I'm sure Antifa's the same way. They're out there being promised, oh, you're going to have all this stuff. So these kids go out and they dress up like a bunch of idiots, kind of like the KKK did, going around. This time, instead of wearing white sheets over their head with big old eyes cut through them, they're wearing black masks, saying, we're the heroes, we're the saviors. Where do you see an Antifa person saving someone's life? Have you ever seen an Antifa member jump in a lake when someone was drowning? Has anybody seen an Antifa member save somebody from a burning building? No! But you did see him catch that building on fire, didn't you? That you did. I bet you did. Do you think they cared about the poor kids and the animals and the old person that's on oxygen in a hospital bed? Do you think they cared about that person? What about that business? What about that business that was started with blood, with their own blood, that these people get out every day and built it up and made a business, and this is how they feed their family. They're not rich, they're just feeding their family, and they're surviving, and they're enjoying their life. And here comes this kid from Antifa, burns the building down. And he says he's the good guy. He's doing it for you. He's saving you. Who's going to take care of that family now? They don't have a job. He burnt their business down. Burnt everything. People can't recover. They're out of work. Lose their house. Have to live on Skid Row. You think Antifa's out there giving them hot meals and soft drinks? Think Antifa's out there giving them blankets? Have you seen an Antifa member out there carrying pillows and hugging people and saying, it's okay, we're the heroes, we're here to help you? I haven't heard about Antifa doing that. Has anybody? Anybody heard about Antifa doing that? No, I haven't. No. And you're not going to see an Antifa person do that because they're heartless. They're brainwashed. They're like robots. Okay? Do you get it? Do you understand? You're like, this is comical, Jackie. You're making me laugh. I am trying to explain something to you. And if I have to do it with a sense of humor, I will. You will never see a Black Lives Matter risk their life to save someone. You will never see an Antifa person going out of their way to show kindness. You will not see an Antifa member go visit anyone in a nursing home and just giving out hugs. You will not see them pick an angel off a tree and buy a gift for a child who may not have a great Christmas. I don't think the Antifa members are going to get together and sponsor a child this year for Christmas. Let me know if you do. Let me know. I'll even put it on my Facebook. Any Antifa member, let me know if you're going to get a angel off the tree this year. Curious, how many of y'all going to get together? Black Lives Matter. Are y'all going to do it? Are y'all going to pick a neighborhood and maybe do something for a whole family? Maybe buy them a tree this year, some gifts, maybe bring them a turkey fully cooked. You think that's going to happen? No! It's not, because that's not who they are. That's not their job. That's not what they're paid to do. They're paid to do the total opposite. They're paid to come in and steal your turkey, burn down your Christmas tree, and shit on your gifts. You get it? Do you get it? Because the farther they can bring you down to the lower vibrations, the more you struggle and you think there's no hope because they told you there's no God. So God's not going to save you. He's not real. The government's real. We'll save you. So you're like, government, save me. Oh. You get it? Do you get it? I hope you do. All right. I think this thing stopped almost. So, it's almost an hour. I hope I have woken somebody else up. You want to share this? I don't care. You want to comment on here? I don't care. You want to get on my Facebook channel and say something ugly? I don't care. Because this is where I'm at today. All right? I'm over so much of this stupid stuff. I do not mind doing the research and showing you the stuff. I don't mind it. I want to. This is what God has asked me to do. But you have got to start paying attention what I'm putting there and understanding what's really going on. What you think you know, you don't know. You don't know nothing. And I see so many people just post and copy stuff thinking that they're saving the world, but they cannot answer simple questions. All right? They can't tell you the stuff. You've got to get in there yourself and do the research, read it, live it, breathe it, understand it. Because when everything blows, we are the ones that people are going to come to first. Jackie, I am so sorry. I thought you were just making stuff up to be funny. I didn't realize. And then I'm going to have to explain to them how this came about, why this happened, why these people did what they did, how it affects this, and this. Because when you start looking at it, there's so many branches of everything, but they all connect to the devil. All right? Every bit of it. Doesn't matter where you start. Okay? Doesn't matter where you start, people. It all comes back to the devil. And that's what you need to realize. So you need to get you need to find Jesus. You need to get him back in your life. I don't care if you have to go to church or you do it in your home. Because Jesus said, wherever a group of people meet is church. So you want to get in your backyard and have your goats, your duck, your dogs, whatever, all back there and read the Bible. That's church. Okay? That's church. Read your Bible. Understand. Learn. Listen. Look with these things. Look at everything. Don't just look at this. Look at this, and this. Compare people's faces to other pictures. If something doesn't look right, it looks kind of CGI, it's like wiggling or something. You're like, what the hell is that? Investigate it. Learn. Question everything. Question it. If it doesn't make sense, then it's probably not right. Okay? Ask yourself, why do people who travel thousands of miles with small children get to keep their children when they put them in intimate danger? Get to keep their children. But somebody who's struggling to feed their children lose their children. Ask those questions. Why that's a bad parent. But somebody can drag their child all over the place, almost half butt naked. They're a great parent. Ask yourself these things, people. Ask yourself. It doesn't make sense, does it? It's because they're counting on you not to think. So think. Everything, think. So, have a great day. Like I said, I'm kind of irritable. But everything will get better as soon as everyone else wakes up. And I don't want to be completely flat and trying to grow up like little bitty seeds. Okay? I don't want us to get that bad. And sometimes I'm afraid we're going to get that bad. I can't afford $4 for gas. I am going to completely just lose my mind. I don't know how in the heck any of us are going to survive. I really don't. So please, wake up. Because it's going to get worse before it gets better. And we all have to suffer. Just like Jesus did carrying that cross. We're all going to have to suffer. We're all carrying our own crosses. You may not like it. I don't like it. But that's what's happening. And this is our moment. Right? Suffering like Jesus did. This is our moment. I just don't want to suffer so bad that it's permanent. Alright? We shouldn't. Because that's why Jesus carried his cross. To take all that away from us. To make sure that we were with the Father. So we could get to heaven. We're not supposed to be going through this, people. We're just not. We need to learn. And we need to wake up. And we need not to make the same mistakes. But I don't think that we should be suffering this bad. So when you've had enough. When you've had enough. Let me know. I'll show you where to start researching. Make your voices known. Write your congressman. Write your senator. Tell them. I've had enough. End it. End it. Make it go away. Let's do the arrest. Let's get these people out. Let's vote the right people in. Let's get it done. Let's end it, people. End it. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.